Hello, I'm and welcome back to another video. Today I have some pretty big news to share with you all regarding Minecraft on the Xbox One. If you don't know already, the Xbox One version of the game has now been replaced by just Minecraft for the Xbox One. That's confusing terminology, but essentially the version which was exclusively for the Xbox One has been replaced by the same version for phones, Windows 10 PCs, and tablets. This is kind of a big deal because this means that your Minecraft has been switched over and the old version of Minecraft will no longer be receiving updates. And in this video, I want to talk about why they probably shouldn't have done it yet and why I think this was a bad idea to do so far, as well as just kind of talk about both sides, because I really think it's important to kind of clarify the ups and the downs of this switch to new Minecraft, because there's lots of ups but there's also lots of downs. So hopefully you do enjoy this video going through all of them now that it's officially out and it's no more like, oh yeah, this is beta to hide behind. Like this video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets know you do enjoy this sort of thing. But let's get straight into talking about what this officially means for you, because once you download the new version of Minecraft, or even officially before then, there is no longer going to be any more updates for the old version of Minecraft Xbox One. So this is kind of a death blow to the game, because obviously one of the big things about console is getting updates every 3-4 months, but now there will no longer be more updates to that game, and also no one else can buy that game if they buy Minecraft from now on. If you buy Minecraft as of this day going forwards, you'll get the brand new version and not the old version. So if you want to play Minecraft with any friends that don't already have it, you can no longer do that unless you play the new version. So essentially what they're saying there is you can still play the old version of Minecraft, but we really would rather you wouldn't, and I guess I kind of get that. Like, Minecraft is a game that's also a service, and you can still play your old game technically, but they would really rather everyone play the new version, where they can, obviously there's more microtransactions, there's more stuff like that, but also it's the version which links in with every other version, and it's the version they believe in as Microsoft. This is why they bought Mojang. It makes sense that they're switching you over, but I really feel like they're doing this very prematurely, because bear in mind, the Betas Giver update was already this giant compromise in its old form of like, oh yeah, well what we're going to do is we're going to bring this new version out for all versions of Minecraft, including the Xbox One, and it's going to bring the Xbox up to par with everything else, and everything else up to par with the Xbox, and make this new Ultimate version, which has all of your old Xbox features, as well as some brand new ones to play with, like Infinite Worlds, and that sounded kind of good on the surface, actually. But then they later revealed that, like, well, it's not all the Xbox features, because we can't do mini games, of course, that's just something brand new, and it's like, well, that's fine, because I guess there's servers, but then the servers don't really work too well, but then you're like, oh, well, that's fine then. So, no mini games, but all the survival features, right? And then it turned out, like, oh yeah, all the survival features, except not lots of the survival features. Stuff like Amplified Worlds and, custom superflats, they're coming in 1.3 probably, if not some point down the line, but they can't come in this update either. So you're like, well, all the survival and creative features that we know and love about the console, right? They can come in this update, and they said, yeah, that's totally how this will work. See, we've made it so you have maps when you spawn, except, oh, they're actually really tiny maps, and, oh, they don't have coordinates on, and then we're like, oh, can we really have those coordinates? And they said, no, not really. So then we made a giant petition, we're like, please, can we have coordinates on our maps? And they're like, fine, we'll put coordinates in the game, except then it turned out it was only for creative, players, because you have to turn on cheats. Again, that's like its whole own thing, but it just really turned into this thing of like, oh yeah, so it was a big compromise, and then they kind of pushed it a bit further by saying, oh yeah, a lot of the features that you know from the old Xbox One version, they're not coming yet, and we don't know if they're ever coming now. So that was a big thing, but we compromised on that because guess what? It's really exciting. I love that you can play with all the other versions, and that is one thing this update does amazingly. The Xbox One version is playing the same version as your phone and your Windows 10 PC, which means that you can play with people from those platforms, but if you don't care about those platforms, then the only real thing you're getting out of this update is the Infinite Worlds and the video settings and more DLC. So if you like those things, or realms I guess also, if you like those things, then yeah, this is a really big thing, but if you don't like those things, then essentially we kind of lost out on a lot of features, but it's fine because they're in the future, right? But then they're like, okay, so an important thing, we're going to spend literally months bug fixing this thing because we need to make sure this is perfect for when we release the new version. So this is the version they've decided to release and make it official. This means that everyone's switching over to this brand new version, but bear in mind, this release version is bugged in a lot of different ways. It's not just bugged in like, oh yeah, well there's some game ambient bugs, again, most of those are fixed, but there's also just issues in terms of the fact that like when you run the game at its default settings, it has serious FPS drops all the time. The old version of Minecraft console runs at 60 FPS all the time. This version seems to just like dip and dive. Even when you're playing regular survival, for no reason you can really tell, the game just kind of dips frame rates. That's something I've experienced. That's something everyone is telling me they experience all the time. It's just a very, questionable version in terms of the performance, but also, again, there's the bugginess. And then finally, the really big thing in my opinion is the fact that they said, now we're forced to this new version, at least we can transfer our old worlds over, except that is still not working. So I spoke with Aubrey Norris directly about this one, and she said like 99.9% of worlds or whatever are transferring over just fine, and like, you're one of the few people that doesn't have them. But for me personally, and for a lot of people who have said in the comments, like, my world still doesn't transfer, what am I meant to do? They've given us a new version of Minecraft, and they said our worlds won't transfer over. So what do we do about that? We have to play this old version of the game, you don't want us to play, we can't play with our, brand new friends anymore, and that, by the way, they're not going to update. I just feel like we're in this really weird hole where this new version was meant to be, this big compromise already, and then they released it in an unfinished form. Again, this is meant to be the finished version. I get they have to release it because they've got that brand new Xbox that needs to roll out of it. I get they need to have it by the end of September because they said this month, but I feel like there's just so many many compromises being made here already, and then they didn't release it in a form that's perfectly ready for everyone. Again, whenever this old version of Minecraft we have works perfectly, it works fine, everyone loves it. You're moving people over from a finished product to an unfinished product and calling that new one a finished product, and I don't know if I necessarily like that. However, with that said, I do think, again, they're never going to let us just like keep the old version of Minecraft Xbox. That's not something we can reasonably expect. I feel like the time this is going to get better is in the 1.3, 1.4, whatever updates where they keep on working on this. As long as they keep listening to us on console and they keep trying to make stuff better, I think that is good. I think during this beta, they did actually do some things to make the game better. They added in like better flying. They made you clear the hotbar. They did improve some things for creative console players. They did make the game better, and they added in a lot of the things we expected, but now they have to add a lot more of these features, and the thing I don't get is, like, if they're going to do that anyway, and 1.3 is going to be amazing, why didn't they just wait and make that the beta together update? Why couldn't 1.3 or 1.4 or whatever be the beta together update? Why did they have to do this now? And that's why I say this was done massively prematurely. I don't know why they need to replace the new old version of this one. Maybe it is like there's, we can sell more realms, or we can sell more DLCs. I don't want to, say it was like cynically like that. I'm sure if it was, it's not the people at Microsoft, like someone high up was just like, oh yeah, we gotta do this ASAP. It's gotta be done by September. Make it happen. Maybe that's how this happened, but it really just feels like we have a brand new version of Minecraft that's our official Minecraft that isn't gonna be perfect, the game we want it to be, for months now. It's gonna be like, months delay into 1.3 to 1.4, and I just don't understand why we'd be in this situation. Again, I really am excited about this. I'm excited to get some records. I'm excited to do stuff with this new version, but this isn't a full new version. This is replacing a finished product with an unfinished product, and I don't know if I personally like that. And also, I can't even play videos on this new world just yet anyway, so if you're curious about like, oh yes, the beta cover update is out now, does that change everything? Well, not really, because to me, this is more of just like a public beta test where everyone's still beta testing it. It's called the official update, but there's going to be 1.2.1, 0.2, etc. to fix all these performance issues, so, it's kind of like that whole thing. And also, it's going to be to 1.3 till we actually have all the features we're missing. I think this game will be the better version of the game eventually. I think right now is a weird time to release it, but that's just my opinion. I wanted to put that out there, and also let you know right now that if you want to shift the development and you want to like let them know that we really do want these features, go to the Bedrock official page for suggestions and upvote the ones you agree with. Stuff like coordinates in survival, like they added coordinates but then not for the game mode we wanted coordinates for, all this sort of stuff. Make sure that you go to that page and you upvote all the stuff there, because that's where people are going to be taking suggestions from, and that's how we can make this game better. So yeah, that's what I really think right now. I think it's a shame we lost Minecraft Xbox updates too early. I think it's a shame they put out a version in a state where it's not going to make everyone happy. Like again, if you just waited, you'd have this amazing version. Now we've got this beta test that we're just doing publicly instead of the old version, and I think this was perhaps poorly done. Maybe it had to be done, but that's just kind of my opinion. I wanted to share it in this video, and again, that's what this channel is all about. I always try and share this sort of stuff, even if it's the sort of thing that a lot of YouTubers wouldn't share because they don't want to harm their relationships with Microsoft or Minecraft or whoever. I guess I get that. Like, you don't want to harm bite the hand that feeds you, whatever. I've heard some YouTubers say that's fine, but to me, it's just about I want to have the honest opinions out there, the truth on this whole thing, because I could just go out there and praise this update, but it's got a lot of good things going on, but it isn't just the perfect, flawless update that a lot of people will lead you to believe it is, and that they'd like us to believe it is, because again, the update, we can see it in there, it's just not right now. So with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It was kind of more a rant than anything else, I guess, but like if you liked it, share if you really liked it, subscribe if you're around here. I'll be making videos like this one and streaming, of course, every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.